In this video, I'm going to talk about why ugly websites work with the rank and rent digital real estate business model. And for those of you that have no idea what I'm talking, maybe it's your first video, the model that we're talking about is building a simple website, ranking it on Google, and renting it to a local business owner by selling the phone calls to a local business owner. I can also, and have also explained it as it's just like regular real estate, where you buy a house, you find a tenant, you get paid. But instead of building a house, you build a website. Instead of getting a tenant or a regular everyday person that wants to rent your place, you're getting a business owner. Instead of giving them a place to live, you are giving them leads. Okay, that is the business model. And what we're going to talk about today is why do these ugly websites work? And it's kind of like this joke that we make. If you watch any of my shorts or you listen to me reference it, I'm always talking about nasty sites, beater sites, crappy sites, ugly little sites. Sometimes we use a little bit more explicit terms. We are not designers. I'm not a designer. I've never tried to be a designer. I've always thought about function and performance over, aesthetic in terms of the actual websites that we build. These are mean, lean, dirty machines that go out and collect cash. That's what we're going to be talking about today. I'm going to give you guys some examples as well. So stay tuned for that. I'll try to keep this video super short and concise as well. For those who don't know, my name is Nick Wood. I have been doing this for 8 years. I've made millions of dollars actually doing this model where you build a website, you rank it, you rent it to a local business owner. And I clarify that because most people that sell programs, which by the way, we have a program, a community called Digital Landlords. But I'm saying all this to say that most people that do this are not in the game. They learned a magic trick and they went out and they sold a magic trick and they're no longer in the game. They hung up their jersey, they're retired. That is not the case with us. That is not how we do this. And so we actually made, before we ever opened our mouths, I say me because I'm talking about our team, we didn't start talking about what we really did. No one really knew what I did, and a lot of people still don't, until we had made 7 figures 2 years in a row doing this. And then people started asking questions. People started saying, how are you doing this? How are you able to travel and do this and do this? And then you're like, well, I rent websites. And they're like, well, to what? Tell me more about it. And that, for me, it honestly took that to get me the confidence to even be able to share this. Okay. So that said, guys, let's talk about beater websites. Why do ugly websites work? Well, I'm going to show you some examples, and I'm also going to give you my theory on why I believe these work so well. I'm not saying that good-looking websites don't work, but I have my theory. I honestly, kind of this joke with one of my buddies who's made a lot of money doing this as well. And we have this theory that like the uglier the website, the better it performs. And it's funny, it's a joke, but it's also, there's some really strong correlation to the uglier the site is. The fact that the uglier the site is, the more it actually generates leads and therefore makes you more money if you know how to put a deal together. And so it's kind of a funny thing, but it's actually true. So let me show you my screen quickly. There we go. Okay. I'm going to show you a couple of examples. Example number 1, St. George Concrete. You may laugh at this. This is one of my nicer websites. I really, really mean that. It's simple, but at least it's a little nicer than some of my other stuff. Okay. So this right here, just to put this in context, this thing generates just over $1,500 per month. It generates $375 per week, which if you do that over a 52-week year, brings in slightly more. I'm going to do the calculation. I think it's like 15 something. So I'll do 375 divided, 375 times 52 weeks, 375 times, wow, what am I doing here? Calculator looks different. 375 times 52 weeks equals 19.5. We'll divide that by 12, and that makes me $1,625 per month. Okay, so this website right here makes me $1,625 per month. I think my math's correct. By the way, if it's not, I'm not reshooting this. Just forgive me. Just doing this on the fly. Okay, that's number 1. This thing took me, I would say, I mean, it's been years since I built this, but less than 40 hours combined. Less than 40 hours. We haven't logged into this website for over 2 years. We do talk to the business owner occasionally, but it's very cut and dry. We send this person leads. We don't even send them. They just get forwarded. Like when somebody calls this number or fills this out, it just goes directly to the business owner. We track it. There's a software you can use. It's very, very simple. It's such a great business model, guys. It's really done, it's allowed me to do some amazing things. Like, for example, I'm in Dubai right now. This is my third month being here. I'm gonna be here for 4 or 5 weeks. I've spent more months out of the United States this year than in it. And it doesn't mean that's what you want to do, but for me, that's what I want to do this year. I've been to Paris Fashion Week. I went to London Fashion Week. I've been to Africa for 3 months. I've been to Dubai for this will be my third month. I've been to Miami. I've been to Southern California a bunch of times, Vegas, basically every week, and still making literally multiple six figures every single month. So find me a business model that allows you to have that kind of flexibility and that's better than this, and I will jump over immediately. But good luck. Okay. Let me show you probably my nastiest website I currently own. I have this website, by the way. I don't recommend towing for those of you that are looking to get into this business model, but we have one towing site. It's this Towing St. George site right here, ranked #1. Look at this bad boy. This thing, look at this. This thing's off the rip right here. Look at this guy. You guys remember those what are they called? The Geo Metros, those little freaking those cars? This is the beat up Geo Metro of websites. Okay, look at this thing. This is a stock image, by the way, with no copyright. Phone number, of course, and then, dude, stock image, all freaking. All these are stock images, even the ones of St. George. This is St. George. These are all stock images. Look at this bad boy. This is nasty, dude. This thing's nasty. Now, this one doesn't produce me quite as much. This one produces me, I believe, $500 per month. If we're charging weekly, it's slightly more. Okay. Let me show you one more example. These are all just in St. George. I got sites all over the nation. But these ones are just, as for some reason, my ugliest websites, it seems like, and they produce the best. Okay. Okay. St. George Epoxy. We're right here. We're also right here. Here we go. This one's definitely better than the towing website. But again, guys, look at these. Okay. By the way, this one right here makes me $150 per week. So the first one makes me $1,625 per month. Okay, which is $375 per week over 52 weeks. This one makes me $500 a month. I think it's charged monthly. This one makes me $150 per week, whatever that ends up being. I think it's like $650 per month over the course of 12 months. Okay. We have sites that are making us, by the way, this is the lowest amount that we actually, this is the reason I don't like towing, by the way. And I also don't love epoxy flooring. These are the lowest retainers that we have. Okay. Our minimum typically is $1,000 per month, just to kind of give you guys some context there. So that said, guys, here's why let me unshare my screen here. Why the heck do ugly websites work? And again, this is my theory, but I think the reason why these things work is, number one, is they're very cut and dry. They're to the point. We focus very much on putting that phone number at the top, making it clickable, making it easy, making it dummy proof, right? From a senior that's on an iPad that's got fat, the fat finger, which you just clicking everywhere. It's easy to click on and call. We just make it like very, just so we're stripping away all the fat, all the fancy. It's like, here's the phone number. We own a company. Call us if you want to quote. Done. That's it. And it works. Okay. That's number one. I think it's simple. It's to the point, and it's high converting because it's literally like, call us, right? Don't need to read a bunch of stuff. You can, but here you go. Call us. Here's the other reason, and maybe the bigger reason, is I believe that when people, I don't know this is intuition, but I believe when people go to sites and they see a site like St. George Concrete CO, which, by the way, looks a little too nice compared to my standards. And by the way, the reason why that one's making more money is because of the industry it's in, not because of how nice the website is, just to clarify. But you go to a website, let's say like stgeorgeepoxy.com. If I go to that website and I live in St. George, which I do, and I'm looking to get a couple of quotes, no, it's very easy. But when I land on that website, I'm thinking in my head, like, yeah, this probably is a local business owner that had his wife that doesn't know how to make a website, or his niece or his cousin or whoever, or son that's in college learning whatever, build it for him. Yeah, this has got to be local. Like, no one that actually is in this space could produce something that's this horrendous. And I'm dead serious. And it almost builds this level. And I've had this conversation with my buddy, like I told you about, we joke about it, but I've also heard people say this, like, these ugly websites, they build a level of trust because they look like they're owned by local business owners, right? We're almost like, it's almost like that idea where if you go and you're trying to sell, business to business, and you have too nice of a car, you'd think that it would help, but it actually doesn't, because it doesn't really relate, right? You might be a little bit better off, even though it doesn't make sense, driving up in the beater, right? Driving up with the dirty pickup truck and the cowboy boots and the hat and looking like you haven't washed a couple days because it makes them more comfortable or it makes you look more trusted. It's kind of that similar concept. So from my experience, these beater sites, these ugly, down and dirty, nasty freaking Geo Metro of websites, they work the best. Throw a tracking number on top, do a quote from underneath, slap a little content on there, have sound SEO, which by the way, the customer, you, whoever's looking for up that website is not going to know because this is the page title, this is the meta description, the H1, blah, 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 all the stuff that you don't even look at. And you're going to rank and you're going to have that trust and you're going to get a lot of leads. So this is my opinion. Again, I've only made, I don't know how many millions of dollars doing this. So that should mean something. But in my experience, the uglier the website, the better it performs. I'm out.